Like, comment, and subscribe.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers, and our houses to aliens. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We are drunk in our water for money, and our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given our hand to the Masrayam and to the Assyrian to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we are born their iniquity.
All right, Mashpaka. Mashalawanka, that means how y'all doing? Mashalawanka, Yasharal, how y'all doing? I'm gonna go ahead and read some of this book for y'all today. And I got it labeled as Salpar, that's a Samak, a Wa, and a Pa, and a and a Ra, which means book, Salpar. Gonna go ahead and read a book for y'all today. It's called From Babylon to Timbuktu. Pull it up for you. There you go. Before I begin reading, I just want to thank Yahweh for allowing me another year to be alive. My birthday is October the 14th. That's the 10th month on the 14th day. Mashpaka. All right, I'm finna go ahead and start reading. This is From Babylon to Timbuktu. If you have it on your computer, it is page 18. What I'm finna start on, let me look up here. The origin of the white race. All right, chapter 11. Book reads, after the destruction of mankind by the flood, Noach and his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives were the only people that was saved. The sons of Noach were Sham, Cham, and Japheth. From these 3 sons of Noach was the whole earth populated. The ark rested on Mount Ararat. Mount Ararat was located in the land of Armenia. The words Armenia and Ararat mean high ground. The entire earth at this time was of one speech and of one language. Most of the people dwelling in the plain of Shinar and Arbar, the valley of Shinar, men began to congregate in the territory and to build a tower up to Shamayam. The Jewish historian Flavius Josephus says God also commanded them to send colonies abroad for the throughout people in the earth, but the people did not obey Elohim. Now when men was in the process of building the tower, Elohim disapproved of its of its construction, because it showed a disbelief in his word. The divine had promised Noach that he would not destroy the earth by water again. Nimrod, the Kawasham, the Ethiopian, that they used to call Africa, was the leader of the conspiracy against Elohim. He was a mighty Adam and a conqueror. He held the people under his dictatorship. When Elohim considered what had been done, he confused Adam's language and scattered them towards the four directions of the earth. The word there for confuse is babal, which means confusion. So Elohim confused the languages. All right, they all spoke one Lashon, they all spoke Abar, the language of Adam. And we say Abar because Abar carried on in that language. All right, the sons of Nach were Sham, Cham, and Japheth, because the world was populated from these three sons of Nach. It is proper to classify Adam only according to this classification. So we don't see here that Yahweh created the earth and populated the earth through three monkeys named Sham, Cham, and Japheth, but he populated through three Adam who came from Nach and his wife, whom Nach came from Seth, the son of Adam. These three sons of Nach and their wives populated the whole earth because the world was populated from these three sons of Nach. It is proper to classify Adam only according to this classification. The Bible is older than Darwin theory. The Bible is older than Blumenbach's theory. The Bible is older than America. The Bible is older than all the different races, categories, and all these things. So we know that the origin of this Mongoloid and all that Negroid stuff came through by way of Japhet, all right, through his descendant, Blumenbach, and all the studies that he did inside of that college. They call him the father of race, all right? So if you say that you don't believe that we came from Adam, and you say that you believe in the father of race, then I guess Blumenbach is your daddy. All right. The origin of the white race. Sham, Cham, and Japheth, and not Caucasoid, Mongoloid, or Negroid. The later category is a modern anthropological classification that we will deal with more thoroughly later. The parts of the Arats inhabited by the children of Sham were parts of the territory of Assyria and Elam. All right, and the place where they settled at was the land that they used to call Shinar, and the land was changed from Shinar to Babal because that's where all confusion came when the languages was divided. Persia, east of the Tigris River, the eastern part of Syria, and the parts of Arabian Peninsula, and all the children of Sham were Shalkar, were black, Shalkar, were black, Shalkar. This position will be supported by the art. Look, the sun rises up in the east. Nobody needed sunscreen at that time. All the sons of Nach were Shalkar. So everybody on the earth came from a Shalkar man. Now, one book says that Nach was albino, all right? But an albino man gave birth to three sons through his wife, all right? And these three men populated the whole earth. Something happened to Japheth when they went up to the north. Now, let's keep on going. The position will be supported by argument and facts later. The second classification of Adam was the Hamites, the Cham, the Kemetic people, who controlled the great centers of civilization in ancient time. 4000 BC, that means before Messiah. Soon after the flood, this civilization included the continent of Africa. All right. The land of Canaan, Yasharal, named after a Hamite. Israel was named after a Hamite. The land of Israel was named after a Hamite. There's a place in Yasharal where the Hamites lived and possibly still do. Parts of the Arabia, Syria, Phoenicia, Turkey, Babylonia, southern Persia, Iran, East Pakistan, and a large part of India. The third classification of Adam was the Japhethites. So you see here that Ham ruled over all these parts: Arabia, Syria, Phoenicia, Turkey, Babylonia, southern Persia, Iran, East Pakistan, and a large part of India. And it's talking about dark-skinned people, black-skinned people here. The third classification of mankind was Yapath, who also was dark-skinned at one time, because he had a lot of melanin to be able to live in the Shamash, in the sun. From Yapath, who was the youngest son of Nach, Japhet was the youngest son of Yapath, and I used to think he was the oldest on how they taught in church and how we read some of the translations, but Yapath was the youngest son of Nach. All right. The offspring of Yapath occupied the Isles of the Guyana. That's Europe. Look, the shore territories of the Mediterranean Sea in Europe. Okay, so that is the lot of their inheritance. And parts of Asia Minor. All right, and parts of Asia Minor. Not all of Asia Minor, but parts of Asia Minor, whence they dispersed northward over the entire continent of Europe. So they left and they dispersed northward. They went up, not down, northward over the entire continent of Europe. Their animals was the bison, the polar bear. That was the animals of their land, and different birds and stuff that was up there, and a great part of Asia. After Nach ark rested on the mount of Ararat, and the dispersal of the children of Adam at the Tower of Babel, which means confusion, Yapath's descendants traveled west, north, and northeast of the Mount of Ararat, the Caucasus Mountains. All right, that's where you get the Caucasians. Yapath settled near the Mount of Tartarus and Amanus in Turkey. That's where you get the Turkish people, who will later on come up with the Ottoman Empire and disperse the children of Judah to the four corners of the earth. The children of Yahabadah, Judah, the fourth son of Yiqwaba, not a religion. They journeyed to the river of Tanais in the southeast Russia. So they are Russians, okay? And along Europe to Cadiz, Spain. Now, Cadiz is Spain. Now, Christopher Columbus, it is said in his biography that he is a Jewish, that he is a Jew. He is a Spaniard, okay? He's a Roman. Along Europe to Cadiz, Spain. The sons of Yapath were Gomer, Magog, Yawan, and the reason why I say Spain, because Spain was a part of the Roman Empire, along with Portugal. All right, Latin and all those are Romans. The sons of Yapath were Gomer, Magog, Yawan. That's the son of the Spanish people, Javan, Yawan. Tubal, Meshech, Tiras, Genesis 10 and 2. There's your historical and documented records of it from ancient days that's older than Darwin and older than Blumenbach and older than all of the people who came up with racist terms to put on people. Gomer was the ancestor of the first Cimmerians, of the later Cimbri, including other offshoots of the Celtic family, the Celts. All right, these are the sons of Japheth. Remember, Josephus, he gave a biography, and now this brother, making use of the biography of Josephus and of the scriptures and of history and of artifacts and of DNA and all the things that it takes in order to get an accurate understanding of things. He put all this and compiled this together. So documents, atlases, and everything this brother could do to put together so that the family could understand who is who. Because in this last kingdom, the children of Yasharal, that there was a plot made according to the prophet Asaph in Psalms chapter 83, and I believe him over anybody that say it don't matter. He said that they had a plot that they want to erase your history, and that's what Sham mean. Sham transliterates into history, identity, because that's what a legacy is. It means history. All right. And the present day Giles of Ireland. So they're Irish, Scotland, the Scots, and the Hebrides Islands. These Sumerians were described by Homer, the Greek, the god, as dwelling in a remote place of mist and gloom. Now, some people just not getting their feet wet, their foots wet, but Homer, who's older than everybody on this earth right now, said that the Greeks as dwelling in a remote place of mist and gloom. This place was located north of the Black Sea, not south of the Black Sea, but north of the Black Sea. Okay, let's go on down. Page 20. The second son of Japheth of Japhet was Magog, the father of the Magogites. Flavius Josephus said, Josephus lived during the time when the temple was destroyed in 70 AD. All right. And after the temple was destroyed in 70 AD, the children of Yehoiada had fled out of the land. There was a war going on. That there was other empires set up, and the last one that I recalled to you was the Ottoman Empire and the African Empire that was set up after that through European colonization colonies. But the last one that I can remember mentally is the Ottoman Empire, and then after that, and then we come to this iron and clay, which means all the nations together, but they not together empire. All right. Flavius Josephus said that the Greeks, that the Goy called these people Scythians. Okay. So, Josephus said that the Greeks called these people Scythians. The Scythians included all the wandering tribes who dwelt mostly near the north of the Black Caspian Sea. They were regarded by the ancients as tremendously lacking in intelligence. This is what they said in civilization. The Moors came up there and taught them. All right. The third son of Japheth was Madai, the father of the Medes. They were located at the southern part of the Caspian Sea, They later united with the Persians, remember these people, to form one race. So they had an alliance together and they formed one race. They assimilated together. From Yawan, the fourth son of Japheth, and Yahweh told us, Yasharal, not to assimilate. We are called out. All right. From Yawan, the fourth son of Japheth, came to the Ionians and all the Greeks. Tubal, the fifth son of Japheth, is associated with Yawan, Yeshaya 66 and 19. That's Isaiah 66, 19. Meshech and Tubal, Yazachiel 32, Ezekiel 32, 26, Yazachiel 32, 26, 39, and 1. Our nations are Goyan of the north. They are Goyan of the north, not of the east and not of the south, but they are Goyan of the north, nations of the north, not of America. They are Goyan of the north. The focal point of the land of Yasharal. So the focal point of the land of Yasharal, so they are north of Yasharal, not north in Yasharal, but north of Yasharal, above Yasharal. All right. Josephus identified the descendants of Tubal with the early Iberians. Iberes, they were inhabitants of the territory between the Caspian and the Euxine Seas, which is Georgia and southern Russia. All right. The last son of Japheth was Taras, the father or ancestors. See, that's what father mean, ancestor of Thracians. This land, Thrace, was situated north of Turkey. So it was north of Turkey, Asia Minor, and northeast of Greece. Japheth's grandson, Ashkenaz, who would now be in these days the Jewish people, Ashkenaz, and whoever else that want to join us out of a religion. You cannot join a bloodline. You cannot join a bloodline with a religion. Ashkenaz is a son of Japheth. That's his ancestor. Formed the Germanic race. The German race. In an Abar language, the word means German. In Hebrew, Ashkenaz means German. So when they say Ashkenazi Jews, they saying Germanic Jews, because they the sons of Japheth. And back then, they used to acknowledge, a lot of them, and some of them still do, that they are converts to a religion of Judaism. All right? Not a bloodline. They are convert. Just like if somebody say, I convert to being a Johnson, even though they're not a Johnson, and even without the permission of the head of the Johnson house, they say, I convert to being a Johnson. And so they claim all of your assets and your children as their property. And then they claim, then they say their history just don't matter, and put them on slave ships and call them monkeys and make them build up their economy, and won't get them no loan out the bank unless they got good credit. By 37 AD, the Germanic tribes were on the move. The Ashkenazi tribes were on the move. They were known under these names: Lombards, Burgundians, Franks, Saxons, Angles, Jutes, Ostrogoths, Visigoths, Suevius, and Vandals. These 10 Germanic barbarian tribes settled all over Western Europe and intermingled with modern nations of Western Europe as we know them today. All these tribes were the descendants of Japheth. See, a son of Yasharal is being a light and teaching who is who, because there is a mass confusion that has went across this earth. The ancient people did not classify races according to skin color, like the modern nations of Europe and America. The ancients included the Greeks and Romans. Nobody did this. Identified people according to their national or tribal names. They used such names as Visigoths, Vandals, Saxons, Kawashiam or Ethiopians, or Cushites, Carthagins, Judeans, which when they say Judeans, it's Israelites, because Judah is not the only tribe of Jacob. Arabs, which means a whole bunch of nations that come together and make up one kingdom, like what you say, Muslim kingdom. Persians, Babylonian, and Kemet, Egyptians. So I'm finna stop right here. I stopped at page, and I'm gonna start at page 21. If Yahweh willing, I can save where I'm at right now. And if y'all willing, I'll retort back to this. All right, so let me save this. And I want to thank y'all for listening in on this right here. I couldn't go live, so I did a pre-recording for y'all. And the stuff that I read to y'all can get the book. It's called From Babylon to Timbuktu by Elder Winslow. And you can read all of the parts of the book that explains to you what everything is from and what it's all about. I'm finna get off of here, and may Yahweh bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you and give you all his shalom through the Shar Shalom Yahweh Shai. Amen.